We're here in Yorkshire, the host of the 2019 Road World Championships, the first to be held on British soil since 1982, 37 years ago.
Yes, and despite the entire region celebrating the Festival of Cycling later this year, we're going to give you a preview of the best segments along both the male and female road race circuits before we head to the epicentre of the cycling festival, that is Harrogate, where the finishing circuit for both races are.
Indeed, indeed. We're currently outside Leeds Town Hall, which is the start line of the men's elite road race. And it has quite a lot of modern cycling history to its name already, being the start line of the 2014 Tour de France, and has since gone on to host multiple Tour de Yorkshire stage finishes.
Yeah, that's right. And this is the start of our big bike ride today, isn't it? And we're aboard these two beautiful aero road race machines in the Boardman Air and the Cannondale System 6 that I'm riding here. It's pretty spectacular, both the bikes are. But we've got a pretty long day ahead, so hopefully these bikes will help us maintain a pretty strong lick throughout the ride. But the first point of interest is the official flag drop of the race, which is just heading outside of Leeds. So we should get cracking, really.
Let's do it.
Should we go?
Let's go.
Let's go.
First major checkpoint of the men's elite road race is right here-ish, round about here anyway, because this is where kilometre zero is, where the flag will drop and the race will officially start.
So all of that was just a complete waste of time?
Well,
so
waste of time.
How many Ks? 200 and...
So it's 284k to go from here until the finish line in Harrogate. So
wow.
Yeah, they're going to be covering close to 300k that day, which it'll be a rainbow jersey that is well earned anyway. So with quite a few key segments to get going on with, we
should head to the climbs, shouldn't we? It's been a long time coming, a fully dedicated carbon aero road bike from the guys at Cannondale, but it certainly has delivered with this, it's System 6. It even got the spot on our 2018 Editor's Choice Awards for being nothing less than fast and comfortable, and that's why I'm taking it round the world's course today. Cannondale has thought of the entire system here, wheels included, and have optimised the airflow with a narrow tyre and wider rim, 23mm tyres in this case. It's a fast, capable bike, and I'm really going to take it to the line against Paul when we eventually get to Harrogate.
We're now on the second of three categorised climbs for the men's elite road race. The first of them was Cray, 60 kilometres from the flag drop in Leeds, whereas now we're about to ride up Buttertubs, which I can feel already.
Yeah, it's quite tough this one.
Lumpy.
It's a very hilly course.
I should say it's lumpy, even though somehow, when this exact stage was ridden in 2014, it ended in a sprint finish.
Marcel Kittel.
Marcel
Into
Kittel.
the yellow jersey.
And Mark Cavendish
on the ground.
crashing out.
2014 at the Tour de France when it came to Yorkshire, this gave us the iconic image of an estimated 10,000 people on this 4.5 kilometre stretch of road. It's where Jens Vogt was on a solo breakaway and he was fighting through the masses of crowds. Christine Prudhomme, he claimed it to be the Alpe d'Huez of Yorkshire.
I mean, that may be in a bit of a slight exaggeration from his part, but you can be sure this is where the crowds will flock to once again on September 29th, as it's an iconic part of the race. And as you can hear from our breathing, it's quite hard as well, averaging just under 7%, and it's the highest point of the world this year at 527 metres.
Oh, I think that attack I did earlier, mate, started to really great.
Oh, you shouldn't have gone with the flag drop, mate. See you at the top.
Right, Paul.
This is the Bournemouth Air 9.6 with full Shimano Ultegra Di2 and 50mm deep night wheels, and it's my aero bike of choice to take on the world's course today. It is a pretty rapid aero bike that has had former Olympic champion Chris Boardman design it and has seen the likes of the Brownie brothers race to great success. The Air 9.6 uses a hidden rear brake to clean the airflow at the rear, and also has a wide PF30 bottom bracket standard to help optimise the chainstays to provide aero efficiency and stiffness. So with all those aero gains and performance advantages, it should give me the edge over Simon, over the hills of Yorkshire and the sprint in Harrogate.
So we've come to the third and final climb of the men's road race, and it's up here to Grinton Moor, and as the name suggests, it climbs from the town that bears its name. The main crux of this climb is a 6.6 average gradient, but it only has a few steep slopes and some plateaus, but there's more to it than meets the eye.
As the name suggests, Grinton Moor is quite open and expansive, like a lot of climbs in Yorkshire, and it could well have a bigger effect on the race than the climb itself, because it's quite exposed to the wind, and if the wind is blowing in a certain direction on race day, you wouldn't be surprised to see echelons forming. And that may not bring the winner out of the entire race, but it could well ruin quite a few riders' days as they have to chase back on to Harrogate, which is still 160k to go to the finish line, but only 50k till the first lap of the circuit.
But before we go to Harrogate to the finishing circuit, we need to make a little detour to find arguably the hardest climb of the entire weeks of racing, which is the women's climb. So we're going to head there, but we better get going.
We're on the final run into the final climb of the women's race, which is known as Loft House, or locally known as Trapping Hill. And it's arguably the toughest climb any of the races will face over the week-long championships, even though it's only 3.5 kilometres long.
So this is the second of the 2 climbs the women will tackle after Norwood Edge. And it comes within the first 50k of the race, which is 149.5k long. This climb actually averages 7.6% gradient. It maxes out at a whopping 13.6% gradient. So it's going to be a toughie.
So yeah, we're probably going to absolutely slog our way up there, struggling all the way. However, the women shouldn't find it too bad, and it probably won't be a race-defining move because it still comes over 100 kilometres from the finish. So it probably won't be the race-defining winning move, but it may well end a few riders' dreams.
I think we should do it in the little ring though, mate.
Little ring.
Tap it up.
From now.
Down we go.
Oh, down we go.
Oh. Oh, there we go. Nice and easy, mate, on the tops. Are you sure that's not going to be a decisive climb for the female race?
Well, like I said, we're not racing that. We rode that very, very
gingerly, should we say?
on the limit, but
that is a monster climb. That is tough.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I just want to get to Harrogate now.
So that's next. So we've done all the climbs now for both the male and female races, and it's just the Harrogate and the circuit to the finish.
Let's do it. Come on.
See who's going to be world champion out of me and Paul.
He's good. Well, me. It's all me. It's always me.
Right here? Or?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a bit further on. So this is the final corner of the world. Right-hand turn onto the high street. The third in the last kilometre, which are very, very tight. However, it's one way. So we can't actually ride up it.
So yes, we finally made it to Harrogate. So the festival of cycling ends here, and it's the end of our long journey.
Yeah, and it's been a tough day.
It's been a very tough
day. Yeah, I mean, we've taken in 2 climbs in the men's, 1 climb in the women's, but yeah, it all comes down to Harrogate here and this circuit, this 14-kilometre circuit, which the women will complete 3 laps of and the men will complete 7. And we've ridden around it, and it's quick. but it's lumpy.
Rapid.
It's
Yes, so I mean there's still another over 1,000 meters of elevation to gain in the last 7 laps for the men, a little less for the women because they're doing 3 laps, but there's still time to be shelled and still time to be worn out by the faster guys.
Yeah, exactly. And each lap's 220 meters elevation gain, so that's just going to keep on ramping up, keep getting in. You may not even feel it because they're going to be going so quick around here, because like we said, it's going to be just strung out like elastic, kind of going in each corner and then strung out again, chasing back on, and you're not going to probably feel it for the first few laps, but then towards the end someone may go and the recipe will be just spat out the back.
So it's basically like a criterium. It's fast, it's flowing, there's some 90-degree tight hand, right hand bend, left hand bends, like it's got everything. And the thing to remember here, these are residential streets. They're not super wide streets where you have bags of room to do what you like. There's going to be a very specific racing line and the guys will be charging for the front. And if you're not in the top 10, at least I say, you're going to be having difficulty working twice as hard because you have to brake, choose someone else's line because someone's taking it, and then sprint back on, and you're always losing speed in that sense.
Yeah, and especially the last kilometre is crucial for the whole race. There's 3 corners which are 90-degree turns or even sharper, and I mean I'm thinking of the final lap in particular, but the build up to it, because they're only 14k laps, so the 3 laps to go, 2 laps to go, and the final lap, if you're not in the top 20 riders, even going into that third last corner, you're going to struggle to get back round because it's kind of downhill, it swoops around, and the position is just going to be absolutely crucial getting into those corners.
Again, there's not much space, especially as you say,
Yeah.
in those last 3 corners. Unfortunately, we couldn't ride the finishing straight, which is just behind us here, because it's a one-way street, so it'd obviously be closed for the Worlds, but there is a little rise up, there's a little kick up out of a 90-degree bend. It does plateau and it does flatten for a couple of more 100 meters of sprinting, but that's going to be the pinch point where if you're behind, you're not coming around it.
No, exactly, and it's going to be a real big effort to get anywhere near the front or past anyone who's in that top 10, 15 riders.
So, who do you think is going to be in those top 10, 15 riders to win the race?
Well, I am going to go for man of the moment, Julian Alaphilippe, because I think he can win in a variety of ways, and we've seen him out sprint sprinters. We've seen him
Crazy.
He could punch his way up that climb if he was at the front, which he could easily do. He could send it off the front on the final lap, make everyone panic, and he'd just pick his own racing line through those final corners. And I just think he'll win 3 ways, probably more that I haven't thought of off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm going to go with Alaphilippe. How about yourself?
So I can't look beyond Peter Sagan for that, and maybe him and Alaphilippe will be punching it out for the men's race at least.
Yes, exactly. And for the women, I can't look past a few key riders. So Annemiek van Vleuten, Anna van der Breggen, and home favourite, returning to the sport this year, Lizzie Deignan. I mean, we don't really know of her form right now. We're filming in early April, so if you're watching this in September, don't come after me on Twitter. But I think this is a home road. She's from Yorkshire, she's from Otley. And why not her? I mean,
why not?
This is why she came like back to the sport. Like, this is why she was ready to go. But yeah, it's going to be.
Either way, it's going to be
it.
a massive week of cycling, and it will be great to watch wherever you decide to watch, from home or coming to Harrogate to watch the finishing circuit here. And that wraps us up for the day, I think. I mean, me and Paul, we drew at our mini world championships together because we had to walk the final climb. Are you in agreement with that?
If you want to take it, you take it.
I don't want to take it. I want to draw.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
It's a draw.
It's fine.
But that concludes our epic race preview of the 2019 World Road Race Championships. And if you've liked this video, please do like and subscribe our Cycling Weekly YouTube channel. And if you've got any comments to leave us about the course and who is ultimately going to win each race, do leave them in the comment section below. But until next time, we'll see you then.